not in that order. Teacher, hospital.
Right, I'm not starting. Wait, I'm gonna do that again. No, I'm not. It's okay. Oh. Okay. So this is Diane Cox. She is 69, retired, and this is my grandmother. She was previously a pastor, a teacher. Where do you teach?
I taught in high school and junior high, science.
Okay. And you worked in hospice.
Yeah, as a grief counselor.
As a grief counselor. And what else? Is that,
Well,
is that a good introduction?
That's enough.
That's enough. And she's awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So, my first question is, what are some positive and negative stereotypes that younger generations tend to have about older adults?
Well, the first thing that comes to mind is if someone who looks like they're the daughter or son of a person who's the oldest, especially if they're, in their 70s or 80s, from my experience, hospital workers, doctors, I don't know if this also goes to like salespeople, but they tend to talk to the younger person. And they also tend to talk louder to the older person as though everybody is deaf.
Right.
Which I am a little bit deaf, but it's...
A little.
Yeah, it's very interesting. And so when I was a pastor and I would be with somebody in the hospital or in the ER or something like that, I would keep saying, you need to talk to them. You need to talk to, Ron or George or
To the exact
Susan.
person
Yes,
that you're
not
addressing,
to
not to
me.
their
Right.
previous younger person.
Because they're the ones that have to make the decision.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So basically the stereotype is that they can't hear. Is
Right,
what
and
you're
that
saying.
they're not capable of making decisions.
Their own decisions. Right. So they're incapable.
Right.
When
Right.
it's usually the opposite. You're very capable
Well, thank you.
most of the time.
Well, I want to think of something positive. I think that, I don't know if it's a stereotype, but I think that sometimes when you're older, you're treated more gently.
Right. But it also might come out as if like they're talking down to you, almost. Sometimes, which is wrong. Okay, so my next question is, how have your family roles changed since you became an older adult?
Well, when I didn't have anyone living with us at home, I could work. Because I started working when my youngest, your mother, was like in 6th grade.
Okay. So you had
teaching.
you had 3 children altogether. So you didn't work until my mother was born?
Yeah, I might have worked part-time as a grocery clerk or something
Right.
like that. And then I went to college, and then I started working at first part-time in the hospital.
Right. Was Grandpa the main provider then?
Always.
Always.
I never made as much money as he does.
That's okay.
I didn't choose a lucrative profession.
That's okay.
Teaching and ministry are not known for being...
Well, you certainly did your part, though.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Well,
the
I
dog's out.
had fun doing it.
Well, good. And so you're saying that you were able to work before, but as you aged, you...
Well, when I got into my 60s and Bill retired, I worked for a year and a half, and then I thought, what's wrong with this picture? He's out playing golf every week, and I'm going to work. I thought, well, I didn't need to work. So.
Right.
And I was tired because of different family things going on.
And I'd say as you got older, you played a big role with us as, like, taking on the grandparent role and
Oh yeah, I
taking
loved
care
it.
of us. And
Yeah, I love it.
we'd have breakfast every morning at their house, and you guys would drive us to school sometimes and pick us up, or like if we were sick, you'd help us and help mom and dad. And
We were the infirmary.
yes, but
And I
you
used
pick us up when we needed a ride or
Or
something.
when you got sick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Puked in
Well,
the car
I
on my own.
even did that partly when I was working, because
Yeah.
I usually worked part-time.
Right. But now it's not so much. But okay, so my next question: how have your physical activities changed?
Well, I hurt more. I can't do as much. I'm not as fast as I used to be. It takes me a lot longer to clean the house.
Do you run anymore?
Not right now.
I kind of want to see you run though. Just want to race.
Since I got Lyme disease, I
Right.
haven't done much of that. But I do my best to adapt.
Mhm.
So I like to ride horses, so I figure out a way to get on.
Stepping stool. Get on the horse. But you do a lot of walking too, and
Yes.
you walk the dog and.
Yes, and Noah here is my motivation, because he needs a lot of activity.
Yeah. A lot of chew toys too. Okay. Also, I noticed Grandpa takes a lot more naps too.
He does.
And you kind of take naps.
Sometimes I do too.
A
Yeah.
lot more reading,
Mm-hmm.
but that's just an observation.
Well, when you're not working, you have the time to read.
Right.
I never read a novel until after. Well, I read one novel, except when I was in school. When I retired, I finally read novels.
Nice.
Found out I liked suspense novels.
Job. Okay.
It was
Well, reading is good.
it was fun.
Yeah, I like reading.
Disappear.
But college doesn't allow the time for reading for pleasure.
I know.
All I read is textbooks.
Oh.
But this isn't about me, so. Are there differences in your sleep patterns now that,
Yeah.
compared to your middle adult years or young adult?
Yeah, I have a lot harder time going to sleep, falling asleep, staying asleep. There's frequent little walks to the bathroom.
Yeah. Don't you hate that though?
Yeah, I mean your body changes, and so I think that is a lot of why you'll find older people needing a rest in the afternoon.
Do you think you get any? Is it harder to get deep sleep, like a dream sleep?
It's hard to sleep straight 8 hours.
Oh, okay. But when you do sleep, you think you get quality sleep?
Yes, when I start out, but
That's
I
good.
do take a sleep aid.
What sleep aid do you take?
Oh.
I don't have to ask that.
No, I take I do. I take melatonin and I take trazodone.
There you go. Do you take that every night?
Yeah.
Oh.
I won't sleep.
But at least it
But
works.
I think that's as much related to Lyme disease as age.
Right.
Because Pasa has no problem.
He doesn't have any problems?
Falling
But he also
asleep.
takes naps too, so he probably has
His
some...
problem falling asleep.
Right.
He has no problem. But
probably
staying
the
asleep all night,
Yeah.
he has a hard time.
How do you think Lyme disease affects the sleep though? What factor does that play into it? I'm just curious.
Lyme disease affects everything.
It just makes everything harder.
Well, it affects your joints and your muscles and your brain, and
Well, it's definitely hard to
in my
fall
case-
asleep with pain,
Mhm. That's what wakes you up.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Where am I at? How have you adapted to changes that come with advancing age?
Well, instead of mounting a horse from the ground, I have a set of stairs. I get on the
Right.
top of the stairs and I get on the horse, and sometimes I need someone with me.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my pleasure activity.
Do you think that keeps you happier when, like, you know,
even to
you're
ride for
mobile?
half an hour. Yeah, no, but to be able to get on and to be able to be independent is something I think a lot of older adults.
Yeah, I mean, I still consider you guys very independent, like, versus, like, my other grandparents who are, like, 10 years older than you guys. They're considerably more, dependent than you guys are. So, but, so explain how you have, like, a horse farm.
Oh, when in our great wisdom, when we were approaching retirement, we decided we wanted to have land in the farm. So we bought 100 acres and slowly but surely fenced it in, and so it's just a different lifestyle. It's very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have to do much except right here.
And they have an indoor arena and a big barn and an outdoor arena, so, like, and we do barrel racing as a family in the rodeos, so that's, like, a big deal.
Yeah,